I just made some videos, some little shorts about people, experiences I had with people who I used to consider friends, but I now consider that I was wrong. I don't really, it hurts me because I love people deeply. I really love people. Like when I'm friends with someone, I go hard. I die for you. And it hurts me when I realize that that sentiment was never reciprocated, no matter how much the person that I believed I was friends with says that. It really hurts me. Like these people I made these videos, these experiences about these people, whatever. These people told me that they would take bullets for me. These people like cried in my arms and told me they loved me like a brother and then they just ditched me over nothing while I was going through probably like the worst experience of my life. Be careful who you consider a friend, you know? Like, they would have sold me out to the Soviet Union if they'd had the opportunity. They would have sold me out to people who would have tortured me and my family. If I'd stayed friends with them, they probably would have held me back resentfully like crabs in a bucket. There's other people that I considered friends who have said things, and I'm like, oh, you think I need to be humbled? You're not my friend. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know the hell that I've been through. You don't know the depth of love in my heart to not want anyone else to go through that. You don't know what I would have done for you if I'd kept on believing you were my friend. It upsets me because I feel like my concept of friendship was based on a lie. I feel like friendship in this culture of fiat currency, fornication, pornography. What is friendship? Friendship is you would die for someone. Friendship is you see a fight happening and you just don't ask questions, you just jump in and start swinging with them. Friendship is rare. Friendship is valuable. Friendship, or the ability to have mutual respect between admirable men, is what built this country. It's what built everything great. You know, it's like the problem of Eumaeus from the Odyssey. You know, I think like maybe the problem of Eumaeus can only be overcome by the example of Christ. Not Eumaeus, no, Eumaeus was Odysseus's swineherd who was loyal, but he still had to reward him. Eurylochus, the problem of Eurylochus. Does friendship exist? Family exists. Jesus was left alone to die on the cross. Peter betrayed him. Peter repented, though, and came back. I'm wondering right now in this moment if I'll ever have a real friend. I think I might. I'd love to. I'd love to see that the ones I consider friends now will prove themselves loyal friends one day, as I would for them. Got to be careful with your friendship. Friends, friends. Fraternal ends? Friends to an end? I don't know. Like, what is. Friendship, I think, is people you walk with on the path, but it's a. I don't know. I purposely went and made my 20s way harder than they had to be in order to see who was really my friend and to see what was real. I found a lot of stuff isn't real. Family is real. Friendship, I'm not sold. I was a believer in friendship. I believe in alliances. I mean, I don't know. I just don't really believe that someone who isn't my parent or brother could engage in a selfless act for me or voluntarily take on suffering on my behalf. I just don't buy it. Maybe. I'd like to. I feel like by saying that, I'm like making it so that people wouldn't want to be my friend. But it's like the people who were my friends weren't my friends anyway. So what use were they? No use. Grimm's fairy tales might have the answer. The Odyssey postulates alliances. Nestor's son allows Telemachus to escape. That's like friendship. That's like friendship. Eumaeus, though. Maybe you can only have friends if you don't think you have any friends. Like maybe not believing you have any friends is what keeps your friends honest. Maybe. A king has no friends, they say. I consider Jesus Christ my friend, but I've only talked to him like twice. Yes, like once. And then saw his face another time after my first daughter was born. It hit me so hard. I felt like I hallucinated. I did. Like, the whole world collapsed. And I saw the face of Christ for a second. It was like, blessed are the pure at heart, for they will see God. And my heart was pure, so pure in that one moment after my firstborn daughter was born. I knew everything was going to be all right. But friendship, though, I think Jesus wants friends. I think that's sort of like why we got to go through all this shit. He wants to know we're really his friends. He says, I no longer call you servants, I call you friends. I could keep pontificating about this, but I have two wonderful daughters who need cuddles. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Right before I uploaded it, I thought of one more thing. Friendship is rarer than gold and more valuable than gold for that reason. I believe friendship is real, but I believe it's so rare that when you really find it, you better die for them.